Hi, this is Steve with HomeStrung Jewelry.
And Debbie with HomeStrung Jewelry.
And today we're going to introduce you to a new bead box, which we have coming out immediately. It's called Once in a Blue Moon, a Gemstone Orphanage Special Edition. Now, this is not one of our subscription boxes. I need to emphasize that. If you are part of the Gemstone Orphanage subscription program, this is not one that you will automatically get. The subscription boxes normally come out every other month. August is a between month, and we thought this is a great opportunity to bring out something new and exciting.
Something that we call a tween, and is very rare because we don't have that many gemstones to fill a subscription base, so it works well with the special edition.
And the month of August has a special event that's going to be happening. It's called a Blue Moon. Blue moons are kind of a unique astronomical event when the calendar and the moon phases of the moon and just everything else lines up so that there are actually 2 full moons in the month of August. There's going to be a full moon at the beginning of August and then a second one on the 30th of the month. And the second moon is called a blue moon. They happen about once every 3 years. So we thought this would be a great opportunity to come out and celebrate with a new and special box.
This is also on August 30th. It's not just a blue moon, it's also a super moon.
Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, a supermoon is an especially bright moon. It happens when the Earth and the moon are particularly close. And this is going to be the brightest full moon of the year. And it just happens to coincide with the blue moon. Now, we talked a little bit about the blue moon when I did a video a week ago that was introducing the orphans, the Gemstone Orphans, that are going to be included in the box.
Each of these Gemstone Orphans are unique, and in keeping with the fact that this is a very rare event, I was not able to find a large number of blue crescent moons that you'll see, and Steve showed in his last video. So that's kind of in keeping with the rarity of this box.
Now, there weren't enough to do a subscription box, but there are definitely enough to do a special edition tween box. All right, so let's open the box.
While Steve's opening this box and pulling the contents out, I'll share one of the legends I ran across with you. It's believed in some cultures that during a blue moon, if you start a romance with somebody, that it is more likely the two of you will end up being soulmates. Or in the case of our Gemstone Orphans, you could end up being stone mates with your orphan.
So on August 30th, when the blue moon occurs, make sure you've got your Gemstone Orphan with you, and together the two of you will become stone mates forever.
All right, inside this box, we have what?
Well, first off,
where do you want to start?
Let's start with the orphan, of course. And this is kind of fun because we've given all of the orphans a name this time. Last time when we did the box opening, we named a couple of them, and we thought this is crazy. Everyone will think we're insane for doing this, but we found out a lot of you do it too. So we're giving you the names that we've given all of the Gemstone Orphans, and this particular one in this box, his name is Callisto.
Or, as a nickname, we call her Callie.
Yeah, we call her Callie. She's named after a moon nymph, a companion to the goddess Artemis. It's also, I believe, the name of one of the moons on Jupiter or Saturn.
Saturn, maybe Neptune.
One of
them.
But anyway, this is Callisto, or Callie as we call her. And each and every one of you will get this. By the way, this is not a special box that we put together. This is a box that we pulled out at random from the boxes that we'll be shipping in a few days. So one of you will be getting this box. And here is Callisto. You can see she's a blue agate, a striped agate. These stones are kind of fun because they're flat on both sides, so you can wear them coming or going.
You have a choice.
Yeah, I think it's kind of neat because blue agates are considered a stone that will alleviate stress anxiety, depression, and I'm feeling a lot of stress relief right now, just sitting here in the presence
Holding
of
your
Callisto.
stone, huh?
Holding the stone. Also in the box, we have a little charm that we've included.
This little charm is a laser cut filigree stainless steel, and it has that beautiful ion plating on it, which gives it that rainbow of colors. You'll see purples and blues and greens, and it just, the images of the moon with the two little cats on it, I thought this just has to be part of this box.
Yes, these are moon cats, I'm pretty sure. We can't find them in legend anywhere or names, so just take my word for it. Anyway, this is included in there as well, along with the Gemstone Orphanage, of course, is all of the adoption paperwork. We kind of have a special, really important stuff, which, as always, just gives you information about taking care of your orphan and what to expect. And then the actual adoption papers as well. And the one thing that we've changed is we've put the name of the orphan.
You'll notice up here it says, "Meet Callie" from the Gemstone Orphanage. Has the pictures, the description of the stone. It has some of the properties of the stone that you can read at your leisure. But this is your registered, certified documentation that always goes with one of our adopted gemstone orphans.
Okay, so now let's look at what else we've got in the box. We've got the bag here that contains, oh my goodness, this thing weighs a ton. This might take a little bit, so just give us a second and we'll get everything out for you.
We did kind of go overboard on the box this month, so...
Yeah, as I kind of explained on our earlier video, we went and we filled up the box and said, this is really nice, and then we looked at it again and it says, we can do better. It's a blue moon month. We can just go a little crazy. So give us a second and we'll get these beads out for you to see. All right, here's the inventory sheet that you'll receive in the box. Of course, you can see this is once in a blue moon, a rare and unique astronomical event. It explains a little bit about the blue moon, but more importantly, it tells you what's in the box. And you can see here are all of the different items that we've included in the box. But again, we thought this is a lot, but we can do better. And so here's the back side. And we've got even more back here. So let's start at the beginning and show you just exactly what you're going to be getting in the box. And we'll start, I think, with the strands. Is that right, Debbie?
Yeah. I might want to mention that we have over 47 items in this box. We have 14 separate strands to show you. And because the box contents are so big, they won't fit on the table in our screen, so we're going to start with the strands and show them to you first, and then we'll show you the rest of the components.
Okay, so let's start with the blue banded agate.
Blue banded agates in 8 and 6 millimeter in size. On the 8 millimeter strand there are 20, and on the 6 millimeter strand there are 25. These are gorgeous. Look at the color and variations in both pattern and color. They would make a striking piece of jewelry.
Yeah, my experience has always been when you go with a smaller bead, like a 6 or a 4 millimeter, you kind of lose the characteristics of the stone, but not in this case. You can see these smaller beads have all the same stripes and colors of the 8 millimeter as well.
Our next strand is a strand of graduated blue goldstone beads. Graduates from 4 to 6 to 8 millimeters in size, and there's a total of 31 beads on this strand.
Yep, you got that fun sparkle that you get with the blue stone too.
Yeah, if the camera's not picking it up, these do have a beautiful glitter pattern. They look like a starry night sky.
I think this is one of those cases where what you see is going to look even more spectacular than what we're going to show you here.
Then to go along with the glossy blue banded agates, we have a strand of weathered blue agate that is both crackled and frosted. 8 millimeter size again, and there are 15 beads on this strand.
This just makes a nice contrast to the other beads in this collection. They're just kind of fun, a little more subdued. And again, this is a blue agate, so you just feel the anxiety leaving your body. Blue agates are also considered a healing stone, not just for the body, but for the mind as well.
And then for the last set of beads in our gemstone strands, we have a strand of blue metallic plated hematite rounds. These are 4 millimeter in size, and there are 45 beads on this strand. And you can see how they blend beautifully with those agate
Nice
beads.
shiny bead. Now we should probably mention that blue is Debbie's favorite color, so it's having a blue moon this month was just an excuse for her to go a little crazy.
Right. All right, let's move on to the glass and crystal beads. We can start with the pressed glass leaves that are interspersed with a beautiful lantern-shaped crystal. The lantern-shaped crystals are 6 by 8 millimeter in size. They have what's called a global faceting cut on them. They also have an AB finish over a lovely blue plated or blue colored crystal. The leaves are pressed glass leaves, again with a lighter blue base colored glass with a beautiful etched AB pattern that brings out the design on the leaves. They are two-sided. Design is on both sides of these leaves, and there are 14 of them. They are top drilled through the top of the leaf, and they are 7 by 11 millimeters in size. Okay, Steve's just picked up the next strand, which is the Gem Duo check. I've not put check glass in the boxes in the past, but when I saw these jet Gem Duos that have been AB plated on one side, that AB plating just really brought out all the blue tones, and laying next to a lot of my blue beads, they were just so beautiful I couldn't not include them in the box.
Yeah, I love Gem Duos for a lot of different reasons. A lot of people use it for, stringing and bead weaving, but I've also used them with memory wire with a lot of effect. So these are just a wonderful bead to work with. And of course, they're blue.
And there are 40 on that strand, just to give you an idea. Now we're going to show you some faceted crystal rice that are very special. These are a very high quality crystal. The darker blue that you see in there has an etched chevron pattern in it, has a blue plated AB finish on it again. The interspersing crystal, although it probably looks white on your monitor screens, is actually a very light cyan blue with a beautiful AB finish on it. Now, these beads are 11 by 8 millimeter in size. You get 5 of the darker ones and 4 of the lighter ones on the strand.
Yeah, I can definitely see the flashes of blue in the lighter colored bead. These are going to be a fun bead for you to work with. Oh, my discs. Wow, we can't forget the disc beads.
These are 8 by 6 millimeter. These are an A-grade crystal. When I say one of my crystals is A-grade, it usually means that I can't tell the difference between this crystal and some of the Czech crystals like the Swarovski or the Preciosa. When we had our studio, we had students come in, customers come in, and quite often I would lay these beads down next to the similar Swarovski version and ask them to tell me which they thought was Swarovski. And it was very rare that I think they guessed, occasionally got the guess right, but most of the time they could not tell the difference.
Yeah, I've actually put these under a magnifier, compared with the Swarovski, which of course you can't get anymore. And it was impossible to tell the difference.
Many of you have mentioned how sparkly and clear this crystal is, so we try to include some in each box if we have the right color combination. Now next, I'm showing you some crystal bicones that are in a blue opal with a luster finish. These are your Chinese bicone crystals, so these are not the same quality grade that I would say that Swarovski or Preciosa was, but the Chinese are working hard and they have come a long ways in their bicone crystals, looking better and better all the time. And this was just another lovely shade of blue to add to the box.
And this is a 4mm bead.
And there are 35 on the strand.
Now we look at pearls. My favorites. I think the thing about pearls that I like in this box is the fact that all pearls that are round remind me of the moon. I don't care if they're real pearls, freshwater pearls, saltwater pearls, if they're shell pearls, glass pearls, even plastic pearls. They all have the appearance of the moon when you look at them, have that soft glow.
These again are my top grade glass pearls, and I've included a strand in 4, 6, 8, and 10 millimeter sizes. Starting with the 4 millimeter, there are 40 beads on the strand. The 6 millimeter has 25. The 8 millimeter has 20 beads, and the 10 millimeter strand has 15. There ought to be enough pearls on here in this box to do several projects.
And pearls go with everything.
Especially white pearls. Look how beautiful they go with all these blue beads.
Yep, good contrast for all the sparkle. You need something soft. Okay, so is that it for the strands?
Those are the 14 strands that are included in every box.
Okay, so give us just a second. We'll show you what else we've got.
We're ready to show you what else is in this beautiful box of Once in a Blue Moon beads. And we're going to start with our gemstone selections that are in bags. I ended up having to double up the selections into bags because they wouldn't have all fit in the organza bag. So we're starting with some more blue agate in rondelle. These are 5 by 8 millimeter in size. These again are an A-grade gemstone. You'll find the finish, the holes, the shaping is as close to perfect as I think you can come in a natural gemstone, and you get 5 of these. And in with the bag with those beautiful agate rondelles are some blue banded agate ovals. These are 10 by 14 millimeter in size. Look at the beautiful pattern, the color, the beautiful shine you see on these, and you get 5 of these.
Now you can see that if blue agates help with depression, just having this box in your presence,
you'll be a happier person.
Yes, you'll be a happier person. The post office, where we drop off all these boxes, anxiety levels should just drop immediately. These are beautiful stones.
Here's a really fun gemstone, one of my absolute favorites. These are hexagon in shape, but they have 2 holes. I really love working with the 2 and 3 hole beads. I like making strands that are multi-dimensional. These bands, or these stones, have been dyed to imitate blue lace agate, which is one of my favorite. It runs neck to neck with rainbow fluorite, but I love blue lace agate. And these have been very well done. They are 10 by 15 millimeter in size, and again, you get 5 of them.
So, Debbie, is there a blue stone you don't like?
I can't think of one, but here's the first offering of another blue stone called sodalite. These are twisted rice. They are 8 by 16 millimeter in size. The grade on these twisted rice, again, is just stunning. It's beautiful. Your top sodalite tends to come from a really large mine up in Ontario, Canada, which became famous back at the turn of the 19th century, in 1905 to be exact, when Princess Patricia from England visited, wanted to see the new stone. That was when sodalite was just making a big hit all over the world, and she fell in love with it to the extent that she ordered 130 tons of sodalite shipped back to England for her to decorate the Marlborough house with.
Yes, it's good to be a princess.
In the next bag, again, we've doubled up on our bags, but this one has a 20 millimeter goldstone coin. And again, it has got lots of that sparkly glitter. Whenever I look at these stones, I can just envision looking up at a nighttime sky that's just filled with stars glittering in it. So you get one focal piece.
Okay, and here's one of my favorite stones of all time. It's one of the oldest stones that has been mined. It's mined the same way today as it was thousands of years ago. This is lapis lazuli.
These are lapis lazuli teardrop beads. There are 2 in the bag along with that goldstone focal bead. These are 10 by 15 millimeter in size.
Yeah, one of my favorite legends of lapis lazuli is that when Moses came down from the mountain, he had the 10 Commandments, that they were actually engraved upon tablets of lapis lazuli. It's also, according to legend, the footstool of God was made out of lapis.
So it's a very old stone, it's been a royal stone for most of its history.
Yeah, they also ground it up for pigments. Artists did.
Yeah, Egypt used it for eyeshadows. A lot of your Egyptian royalty was
Cleopatra.
Yes,
is
with her blue eyeshadow.
They had blue eyeshadow made from lapis, and Michelangelo ground up the stone and used it as a pigment when he painted the Sistine Chapel. And it was really liked by artists because it didn't fade with time.
Right. Even today, the artists like using your ultramarine, which is made from your lapis.
Yeah, thus it's becoming very expensive because since it comes from Afghanistan, it's getting a little hard to get these days.
Now we're moving on away from the gemstones into the crystal that's in the bags. And again, these are doubled up. So the first set of crystals are these blue opal with a blue metallic half-plated plating on them. They are teardrop shaped. They are 6 by 14 millimeter in size. They match those 4 millimeter blue bicones we showed you when we were doing the strands.
Yes, when we do crystals, we like sparkle. So these have lots of sparkle. And I love these hearts.
These will be in the bag with your teardrop crystals. These are those laser cut hearts. They are 10 millimeter in size. They color shift from blue to purple in this case. They have a plating on the back that is a very dark gunmetal type color almost to them. But the sparkle on these and the shine is to die for.
Yeah, we usually think earrings when we see these, but I can see one of my granddaughters loving this as a pendant as well. I love these rounds because they remind me of Christmas decorations.
They do look like small ornaments. These particular beads are 10 millimeter in size. They have a beautiful white jade-like backing, and then they have imprinted or electroplated this metallic blue squiggle line pattern on them that just every time I see them I have to smile. And there are 5 in the bag.
Actually, I think those are 8 millimeters, Debbie.
Yep, you're right. Those are 8. We do have quite a few of this style and type of bead in a 10, so sorry, but these particular ones are 8 millimeter in size.
They're little Christmas tree ornaments.
That's right. Steve's now showing you a set of glass stars that are two-toned. They range from a beautiful turquoise blue to a nice, lovely shade of fuchsia-type pink. And there are 6 in the bag. Next offering is another one of your check 2-hole beads. This case, the color is dark suede blue, and the shape is crescent moons, and you will get a minimum of 38 beads in the bag.
And of course, we've got to have some leather cord. And guess what color we're going with this month?
This is a dark royal blue. We're moving from our glass and crystal beads that are in the bags to a few findings. Might want to mention that this particular box does not have a findings add-on. So we've included a selection of findings to help you finish a lot of these beautiful beads into even more stunning jewelry. You'll get 36 inches of this 2mm royal blue round cord. Okay, Steve's showing you 3 bells that have been included in the box. 2 are in a nice silver tone, platinum type silver tone. The other is a gold tone. You'll find I've tried to include both silver and gold tone findings in this box. So whichever way you tend to lean, you'll have something you can work with. One of the silver toned bells is a pinch bell. One of those where you just open it up and pinch it into the holes of the pendant, string a cord or chain, and you'll have a necklace in under 5 minutes. The other 2 are rondelle type bells. They have a loop for you to attach your pendant, either through wire wrapping, through the use of a jump ring, and then your cord fits through the rondelle portion of that bell.
Next, we have a couple of different types of cord ends. First, just these little round cord ends.
You'll find a set of gold tone and 2 sets of silver tone. There's 2 types of the silver tone. All of these have a 2mm inside diameter opening, which will fit really well on that 2mm leather cord. If you don't know how to make your own cord ends through wire wrapping, these become your best option for finishing off leather cord into a necklace, bracelet, earrings.
Yeah, you technically can crimp these down, but I think it kind of messes up the appearance, so I would just glue your cord in, or thread, or whatever you're going to use for your stringy material.
The other type of cord end that you'll find in the bag with the ones for the round cord are used for ribbon or flat leather. These are called ribbon cord ends. They have kind of teeth on the portion that you clamp down over the leather, the ribbon, to hold it in place. These are 6mm wide, and again you get a set of the gold tone or a set of the silver tone. This is one of my chains that I absolutely love. I wish I had a lot more of it, but I decided to throw it into these boxes. You'll see that it's you've got little moons and little stars. This is one of the options that's an either or option. You'll receive this chain that we're showing you here, or the other version has 2 sizes of stars rather than the star and the moon, but you'll get one of those versions. They look very much alike. You get 12 inches of them.
Now we've got some clasps. Clasps are what hold the jewelry world together.
I always thought that was jump rings.
Jump rings and clasps are what hold the jewelry world together.
This is a hook and eye clasp. It's done in a platinum finish. They're little hearts each end, and they're very high quality. I've had these clasps a very long time, and I really love using them.
Next, we have a magnetic clasp, and this thing is powerful. Bring this into the room, and all your compasses will point towards the clasp. I can't even get it apart. Yeah, keep this away from relatives with pacemakers. There we go. Wow, this thing is strong. This looks to be... How big around is this, Debbie?
I think the ball itself is about 12mm. Overall, it's a 12 by 14, 12 by 16mm size. There is a second size that's in a few of the boxes that's just ever so slightly smaller than this one, but you really can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it's kind of a pave bead with all the little crystals embedded in it. I love magnetic clasps because they're just so simple.
And I wanted to include at least one toggle clasp. I didn't have enough of this to put into a subscription box, so it fits into one of the tween boxes very nicely. It is just a grapevine type ring and bar with a little heart that's been pressed out into it, done in a antique silver.
And we've got another clasp, another magnetic clasp.
This one's a tongue twister for me. Its formal name is Slide Lock Clasp. It's a 2-strand gold tone. I prefer just to call it a tube clasp.
Yep, 2 strands.
2 strands.
Not very big. Works great with the 2-hole beads too.
This is one of my preferred clasps for doing 2-strand bracelets.
Yeah, and I like the little magnet because it just gives one little bit more piece of security.
Moving on to earring findings, you'll find a pair of these Tibetan silver. The design is engraved in kind of a flower pattern. They have the little loop for you to attach dangles to it. But these also have a 3mm tray in the center, which is meant to take some type of a 3mm cabochon. So we've included one of my highest grade cubic zirconia cabochons in the 3mm size that you can glue into those trays. This grade of CZ is said to be indistinguishable from diamonds once it's been mounted into a piece of metal or jewelry or that.
Yeah, we've got it stuck to this little piece of paper right now with its face down. This is actually the pointed end of the stone, so you can't quite see the sparkle. But take these out in the sunlight when you get them. I guarantee you'll be impressed.
In keeping with our Once in a Blue Moon theme, I came across this set of Moon and Stars stud earrings in a light gold tone metal.
Okay, the post on these, I believe, is stainless steel, isn't it, Debbie?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, was the word post.
So the front here is an alloy, brass-colored, gold-colored alloy, but the post itself is stainless steel for those of you who have allergies or who make jewelry for people who might have allergies. Here is my favorite thing in the whole darn box. It isn't expensive. It isn't fancy. It wasn't hard to come by. Well, actually, it was hard to come by. But this little stone here, which is glass, and looks like the surface of the moon glows in the dark.
Yes, Steve loves the glow-in-the-dark effect.
I have to tell you, I stuck a whole bag of these under an ultraviolet lamp for a little while and just took them into a dark room, and they just glowed.
This is an 8mm cabochon
18
glass.
millimeter, I believe.
18mm glass cabochon.
Yeah, don't sell it short. This glows in the dark, and 18 millimeters glows a lot more than an 8mm bead. Anyway, it's just fun.
As I was finishing up the boxes, I decided I had to add just a couple of more components to help round the box out. I decided to put in a 36-inch piece of chain. I found this, it's called a pretzel design, but it's a rope. It's a style of rope chain because the links intertwine with each other. So you'll get 36 inches of this beautiful antique pretzel or rope chain.
Yeah, this is a very substantial chain. And this has got to be one of Debbie's favorite things in the box. And probably because it's blue, it sparkles, and it's sort of leather.
Again, this is an item that sold really well when we had our studio, and so there wasn't a tremendous amount of it left, but there is enough to put in each box to do at least a bracelet. This is 7.5 inches. This is not genuine leather. It's what they call PU leather or polyurethane type leather, but it's been made to look and imitate leather. The finish on the one side is called a blue glitter powder, and it just sparkles and shines. It's one of the reasons I included the ribbon cord ends, is that you can put those cord ends on this piece of leather cord, put a clasp on, and you've got a really pretty bracelet.
And then finally, Debbie, we've got, what do we call this?
This is a bonus item. This is one of the things that can vary from box to box.
It's kind of like a bead soup. Not everyone will get the same thing.
That's not exactly true. As Steve shows you, there's a bag of gemstones as a bonus item. Everybody will receive 15 gemstones. What's going to vary from box to box is how many of each type and size that he's going to show you are in the box. So where you get 2 or 3 of each style that he shows you, that number can vary from box to box, but you will get at least one of each shape and size that he's going to show you, and could have up to 3 of that size and shape for a total of 15 beads in this bonus bag.
And every one of them will be blue.
This is blue banded agate. It's a tube. They measure 8 by 16 millimeter. There will be at least one in every bag. These are goldstone rectangles, 13 by 18 millimeter in size. In this bag, there happens to be 2 of them, and the glitter, I can see the glitter halfway across the room here.
Yeah, hopefully you can
these,
too.
So,
yeah, I call these pillow beads. They remind me of pillows.
This is a goldstone nugget bead. The nuggets do vary a little bit in size, but they are roughly 8 by 12 to maybe 10 by 14 in size.
Kind of a cube shape rather than a ragged nugget. But it has all of that blue stone sparkle in it.
And it makes a great focal piece. These are 10 millimeter goldstone beads. Again, the reason they're in this bonus bag is I didn't have enough to put the same number in all the boxes, but I wanted to share what I had in the way of these gemstones, so I just made sure that you get a nice bag full of gemstone beads as your bonus.
And then we also have a couple of lapis lazuli stones.
In the 10 millimeter size again.
Which I'm pretty sure were carved from the original tablet that Moses brought down. No, probably not. They're still beautiful stones.
Yes, they are.
I think it was one ancient Greek philosopher said the lapis lazuli was a piece of the midnight sun, or midnight sky, excuse me.
Now here are a couple of goldstone ovals. Your flat oval in the 13 by 18 millimeter size. Again, this bag is mostly got beads that could be used as focal point type beads in your designing.
Also work for earrings. They'd be a nice addition in a bracelet, a necklace, as part of the chain around a focal bead.
Yeah, they could be part of a pendant.
Yep, they could be. Some sort with dangles and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can think of a lot of things that could be done with this. Ooh, more lapis.
These are 13 by 18 ovals again, and he's right. These are the lapis lazuli.
And you've seen the little ovals, the big ovals. Now here are the little ovals.
These are the smallest beads in this bonus bag. They are also lapis lazuli, and they are 8 by 10 millimeter in size. I'm guessing probably about that.
Doesn't matter. They're pretty.
So that shows you down here in the corner here are the 15 beads that were in this box. And you will get a very similar selection and look of 15 gemstone beads in your box.
But your selection may vary a little bit.
Now there's one final item that we want to show you. And this is, when possible, I like to include some type of a free thank you gift.
This is our bag of moonbeams and dreams, and it contains genuine moonstones.
This is the A-grade moonstone. Again, I didn't have a huge selection, but I split up what I had among the boxes for this offering. Every one of those round stones, you get 2 8 millimeter, 4 6 millimeters. You can see the moonstone flash in them. Now this this type of moonstone is just your basic white moonstone. It's not rainbow moonstone, so the flash is not blue, it is white in the white moonstone. The little 3 millimeter faceted rounds, you get 20 of those. Those are rainbow moonstones, and they are only a B grade, so the blue flash doesn't occur in every stone, but as you twist the beads around a little bit, you should pick up a little bit of that blue flash.
They're faceted too, so you get the flash from the faceting. I already have a tutorial in mind, a real simple one that uses these little 3 millimeter beads. I just love them.
So I had Steve pan back a little bit, tried to include those 14 strands that we showed at the beginning of the video. It's a tight fit to fit everything in this box onto the table. And in closing, I wanted to share one more of the legends that I ran across that really touched me. It was once believed in some of the Native American tribes that During a blue moon, they would be given the opportunity to communicate with their loved ones and ancestors who had passed on to the spiritual plane. This tells me that there is still magic in the world, and that's what this blue moon box represents to me.
As always, if you enjoyed this video, we would appreciate it if you would hit the like button in order to get notifications of future videos which we do. Check on the subscribe button and ring the bell, so when we come out with something new like a tutorial, you'll be instantly notified and you can see it right away. Also, we remind you to hang around for the ending because we will be showing some of the jewelry which we've made from this box. We appreciate you coming and looking at our box opening today. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the future.
This is Debbie saying goodbye.